You've probably heard the term critical thinking a million times, right? But it always sounds so abstract, like it's this superpower that only a few people have. Well, what if I told you it's not? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and turn critical thinking from a vague idea into a practical, hands-on toolkit that you can literally start using today. So let's start with this question. In your everyday life, how do you actually get past that first obvious layer of a problem to see what's really going on underneath? Let's take an example. Say a big project at work just missed its deadline. The surface problem is obvious. We're late. But you and I both know that's never the whole story, is it? And getting to that real story, that all starts with a little shift in how we think. See, the first thing we have to get our heads around is that critical thinking isn't some talent you're born with. Not at all. It is absolutely a skill, or more like a set of skills that every single one of us can learn and get better at. And here's what it all boils down to. We call it critical inquiry, and really, it's just a practice built on 3 simple things: asking, probing, and listening. That's it. Think of these as the 3 main tools we're putting in our toolkit today. These are what get us from the simple fact that we're late to actually understanding why it happened, so we can stop it from happening again. All right, so where do we begin? Well, every deep dive, every investigation, it all kicks off with the first and most fundamental tool in our kit, the simple art of asking a question. And you know, this is so crucial. Before we can solve anything or even analyze it, we have to get into the habit of questioning things. The information we're given, our own assumptions, everything. Asking a question is basically like opening a door that was shut before. So back to our project, it's the huge difference between just stating, we missed the deadline, and actually asking, what were the biggest hurdles we ran into? See, it changes everything. Okay, but just opening the door isn't quite enough, right? To really figure out what's going on, we have to step inside and look around. And that's where we move from just asking to our next and honestly more powerful tool, probing. This is where the real detective work starts. Probing isn't about asking a brand new question. It's about asking follow-up questions to the answers you just got. It's how you dig deeper. It's how you move past the surface level facts, the what, and start uncovering the real context, the reasons, the good stuff, the why and the how. And this comparison just makes it crystal clear. Your first question was, what happened? The answer you got was, the design team delivered their part late. Okay, fine. But a probing question goes further. It asks, okay, why was the design team delayed? You see? It doesn't just accept that first answer. It explores the context and the reasons behind the facts. And this quote just nails it. This isn't about being randomly curious or just asking questions for the sake of it. It's a method. There's a logic to it, a structure you can learn. It's a deliberate process that helps you get to the root of, well, pretty much any issue you can think of. Now, asking great questions and probing for deeper answers, that's a huge part of it. But it's really only half the battle. Because if you aren't truly hearing the answers, those first 2 tools are basically useless. And that brings us to the third, absolutely essential piece of our toolkit, the power of active listening. This is so important, and it gets overlooked all the time. So you've asked the design team why they were delayed. Now comes the make or break moment. Are you just listening for your chance to jump in and assign blame? Or are you listening with the real intention of understanding what went wrong? Real insight, the stuff that leads to solutions, comes from what you absorb, not just what you ask. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. Look at that first pair. Listen to understand, not just listen to reply. That's a huge shift. It means when the design lead tells you their software kept crashing, instead of immediately thinking about your comeback, you just listen. You let there be a little silence, then you seek clarification. Tell me more about those software issues. That's where the real breakthroughs happen. So we've just unpacked 3 incredibly powerful tools. Let's lay them all out side by side and see what this complete critical thinking toolkit really looks like. And there it is. Simple, right? Your 3-part toolkit for thinking more deeply. Tool number 1, foundational questioning to open the door. Tool 2, strategic probing to explore what's inside. And tool 3, active listening to actually understand what you find. Ask, probe, listen. That's the method. But here's the real magic. These tools don't work in isolation. They feed each other. They create this powerful loop. You listen carefully to the software problem, which tells you what your next probing question should be about IT support, which all started from your initial foundational question about the delay in the first place. This is how you build the complete picture piece by piece. So now you have the toolkit. The question isn't, what is critical thinking anymore? It's, how am I going to use it? So think about a challenge you're facing right now, or even just a topic you're curious about. You've seen the tools. Which one are you going to pick up and use first?